Nutella cake. Need I say more? I mean, chocolate cake is good enough. It's one of my favorite foods of all time, but add some Nutella in there, folks. Oh my God, the best Nutella cake you will ever have. Stick around, you don't want to miss this. So you heard me right, Nutella cake. It is a chocolate cake with a Nutella buttercream and a Nutella ganache and some candy thrown on top because we're always a little bit extra, aren't we? The recipe can be found in the link in my description below. It takes you to my website, makeitastywithaj.com. You can also find the rest of my social media links there. Before we get started, go ahead, hit that subscribe button so you can come back every week and see every episode I'll be posting for you guys to check out. Alrighty, enough of those plugs, let's get started. The first thing I've done is grease 2 round 9-inch cake pans, lined them with parchment. I greased the parchment as well and preheated my oven to 350 degrees. Now I'm going to sift together 2 cups of all-purpose flour with 3/4 of a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, and a teaspoon of salt. Give that some lovely little whisks in our sifter until it's combined, and I'm just going to set all of this aside and move on to our wet ingredients. Now in a large bowl, I've got 2 cups of granulated sugar with 1/2 cup of vegetable oil and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. I'm just going to whisk this a little bit until it comes together, and then I'm going to add 2 large room temperature eggs, one at a time, whisking each one in until I get a nice little combined mixture like this. Now I'm going to add in 1 cup of buttermilk. I'm going to whisk that all together. And then I'm going to add my dry mixture in about 2 parts. So I'm going to add half of it, gently whisk that together, and then I'm going to add the other half in and do the same thing. Stop when it just comes together and add 1 cup of hot prepared coffee. If you really hate coffee, it's okay, you can't taste it. If you really don't want to use it, just use a cup of hot water instead. Whisk that gently until it just comes together and then evenly divide it into your prepared cake pans. Give them some lovely little love taps on the counter to release the air bubbles, and these are going to go into a 350 degree oven for 30 to 35 minutes. Once they're done, let them cool in the pans for 10 minutes and then transfer them to a wire cooling rack. Peel off that layer of parchment and let them cool completely. Now onto our buttercream. I'm going to add 3 sticks of unsalted butter that's completely softened into my stand mixer with the paddle attachment. And I'm just going to cream this on a high speed for about 3 to 4 minutes until it is super light, fluffy, and a bit paler in color. This is going to make a light, fluffy buttercream, folks. Now once it is nice, light, and fluffy like this, I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract along with a pinch of salt. And I'm also going to go in with an entire, yes that's right, 13-ounce jar of Nutella or your favorite chocolatey hazelnut spread. Mix this on a medium-high speed for another couple minutes until it comes together and is nice, light, and fluffy. And then I'm going to go in with my confectioner's sugar, 1/2 cup at a time, fully combining each one before I add the next, until I've added about 2 to 2.5 cups of confectioner's sugar. You can stop when you reach your desired level of sweetness here. Now for the Nutella ganache, I'm going to use 1 cup of, you guessed it, more Nutella, and I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. You can blitz this in the microwave in 8 to 10 second intervals. I like to do it over a stovetop because once you heat Nutella, it can separate. Just be careful, keep an eye on it, and stir it until it comes together. Now I've sliced each of my layers of cake into 2, so I'm going to get 4 layers. So to assemble, I'm just going to spread a nice little layer of my buttercream on the first layer, and I'm going to repeat this process for the other 3 layers of the cake. And once you've stacked all 4 layers nice and high on your turntable there, we're going to go in with our crumb coat, which is just a thin layer of frosting to catch all the loose crumbs on the outside of this cake. Once you've got a nice even crumb coat, I'm just going to refrigerate this for 15 to 20 minutes to let it firm up, and then we're going to go ahead and finish frosting the rest of the cake. So once that is firmed up and chilled in the fridge, I'm going to add the rest of my buttercream on top until it's nicely and evenly coated, and then I'm going to use a cake scraper like this to make sure that outside layer is super smooth. Now for the ganache, I put it in a piping bag with a round tip, and I'm just going to pipe it on the top, and I'm going to do this awesome little drip effect around the side of the cake as well. The drip effect really just is a matter of applying different pressure around the edge of the cake. Using a turntable makes it very easy to make it look cool like this. It's just a little bit of practice, folks. It's not as hard as it looks, but it makes for a really cool looking cake. I'm going to spread that top layer of ganache around so that it's even, and then top with some Ferrero Rochers, or if you want to use hazelnuts or just chocolate, you can top this with whatever you like. It just gives that little touch of extra effect that we love. Really not a difficult process, just a few of our closest friendly components here, and such an impressive and delicious dessert. You should definitely try this. Once again, the link is in my description below for the recipe on how to make this. Takes you to my website, makeittastywithaj.com. Go ahead, leave some comments down below for me. Let me know what you want to see. What do you think of this? What do you think of anything else in your life? Hit that thumbs up button, and of course, hit that subscribe button, people. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.